Good evening, good friends, and welcome again to Fridays with Fab Freddie. It is Friday, it's after 5 o'clock here, and so that means happy hour. We'll celebrate happy hour with a couple of cocktails. Actually, I said a couple, this will be a 2-for-1 special happy hour this evening. We'll make 2 different libations that I hope you will enjoy and have some fun along the way. Thank you for joining us, all of our friends, especially our Biloxi Little Theatre friends. We appreciate you and your loyalty, especially the seasoned members at Biloxi Little Theatre. Because of your continued support through the years, Biloxi Little Theatre will be celebrating its 75th season this fall, beginning in September. Well, we're not sure about the summer productions yet. We're still waiting to see what conditions will allow, if we can do any presentations in the summer. But we certainly hope that by September we can kick off our 75th season with the musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Also want to welcome and thank you for joining us, all of our happy hour friends. I miss all of you as well. And since we've had thousands of views these last couple of weeks, I don't know all of you. Thank you so much for joining the fun. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Fred Thomas. I'm sort of the Biloxi Little Theatre caretaker. And those of you who do know me know that before we begin any presentation, I have to ask you to silence your communicators. Phasers on stun. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the first thing is the all-important question: am I wearing pants? Well, we'll let you know later. You're welcome to guess if you like as we go through this, and we'll reveal the answer later on at the end of the show. Okay.
Hey Fred, Linda Campbell loves your tie.
Oh, thank you, Linda. This is my new one. I'm glad you like it. Okay, let's start with our first cocktail. We're calling the Showboat, in keeping with our theme of Broadway show titles. And we're calling it Showboat because it's kind of reminiscent of Rolling on the River. And I just realized I forgot to put on my wedding ring. I'm sorry, Erin. Erin's right here. I'm sorry. She knows. Okay.
Big trouble.
I'm sorry. Okay, Showboat because it's reminiscent Rolling on the River, and it's entertaining. And the Showboat begins with some gin. And again, as I mentioned before in the last couple of videos, you don't have to use the most expensive top shelf brands. Save your money for the Blue Sapphire when you're drinking that in a purer form, as in just a simple gin and tonic or something like that. But when you have multiple ingredients like this, any good gin.
Carolyn Martin says hi.
Hi, Carolyn. I wish I could see you.
Mary
Okay.
Crumley says hi.
Mary. Thank you, Mary. Okay, so we'll start with 4 ounces of gin. And then next is dry vermouth. And we'll only do half the amount of the dry vermouth as we did of the gin. So let's do 2 ounces of the vermouth. And then some apricot brandy to give it some flavor and some nice color and flavor. We'll just do as well 2 ounces as well of the apricot brandy. And
Judy Madden says hey.
Hey, Judy.
And Jerry McDonald.
Jerry, hey man. So the apricot brandy, we did 2 ounces. We did 4 ounces of the gin, 2 ounces of the vermouth, 2 ounces of apricot brandy. So you don't, if you're using different measurements, just remember 2 parts of the gin, 1 part of the vermouth, 1 part of the brandy. Then we will add a little lemon juice, and we only need about an ounce, half ounce really of lemon juice. And we will end it with some grenadine, which will give it a nice pink hue and a little cherry sweetness, add a little cherry sweetness to it. And a little grenadine goes a long way, so you only need You'll need a few drops. And once you're ready to sip your drink, if it's too sweet, add a little more lemon juice. If it's too tart, add a little more of the apricot brandy and a little grenadine. And make it to your liking, your flavor. Okay, this is first version is going to be stirred, not shaken.
Your bow tie is very popular.
That's good. I was very excited to get my new bow tie. Okay, let's fill our glass with ice, and we'll be ready for our first showboat drink. Okay. There's a gnat flying around. It must want to drink. Okay. I didn't make enough for the. We'll have to make more for the next version of it. Okay. So there's our first cocktail. Let's dress it up. Can't forget our monkeys. Okay. So quickly, I'm going to make a little more because we're going to do another version of this straight up, shaken as a martini, because it works just as well both ways, on the rocks or straight up. So let's go with. Yeah, we'll do the quick version.
Miss you too, Mary Bromley. Melinda McCarthy wants to know where your kitty Barback is.
Cleo, where are you? She's in the living room on the back of the sofa. So I started again with our gin and vermouth, and apricot brandy. This will be fun. We'll have two versions of the same cocktail. A little lemon juice. Are we having fun so far? Anybody having fun? Anybody out there? Raise your hands. Anybody having fun? Fun check. Bueller. Bueller. Okay, thank you. Anybody? And a little grenadine to end it. Okay. So as we said, we're going to shake this one and serve it straight up as a martini. Actually, we're getting 3 for the price of 1 on this happy hour special.
Lots of people having fun tonight.
That's good to hear. That's good to know. Happy to have you with us, and it's fun being here with you.
The Gould stayed up late in England to
Oh,
watch you tonight.
our friends in the UK, thank you, Anne and Keith, for being with us. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm not a professional bartender. I do this for fun. It's something I like to do, and that's why I'm here. So, with restraint, let's see if we can do this. And there's our martini that I'm getting all over the place. So, serve this. Okay, so there's 2 versions of our showboat, and we're ready to take a sip, try them both. But before we do, let us recall the happy hour oath. Life is a waste of time. Time is a waste of life. So just get wasted all the time and have the time of your life. Kangaloosh. Okay, next version we'll try the martini. Just as good, You can have it both ways. Okay, now that we've had fun with that, let's move on to our second drink, Anything Goes. Another Broadway title. And the reason we're calling it Anything Goes is because the ingredients in it you would not think go together, but they actually do. They complement each other and make a very refreshing cocktail. Okay, we'll start with the new one. Okay, in the Anything Goes, we begin with cucumber vodka. So let's do...
Amy Carr loves your shirt.
Thank you, Amy. Let's do 4 ounces of cucumber vodka.
Your kitty barback has arrived.
Oh, is Cleo here? Cleo's here. This is Cleo, everyone. Our second oldest kitty. She will be 10 years old in June. Our oldest kitty, little Rue, will be 18 in June. And our other 2 kitties are just turned 3 years old. And Ollie, our dog, the floor director for this episode, he's over there with her and getting some treats. Okay, so cucumber vodka, we did 4 ounces. Let's do the same amount of triple sec. Our favorite go-to, we used triple sec the last couple of times. Again, it's an kind of orange flavored liqueur, usually 30 to 40 proof, depending on the brand. Okay, watermelon juice. So yes, the cucumber, the watermelon, and the triple sec all complement each other, as well as we're going to add some lime juice, which goes well with that. Okay, for the watermelon juice, let's do 8 ounces. We'll do twice as much of it as we did the gin and the triple sec. Still having fun, I hope? Okay, I hope so. Okay, now some lime juice. Again, just a ½ ounce or an ounce. We don't need much. And again with this, once you sip your drink, if it's too tart, add a little more of the watermelon juice or triple sec. If it's not tart enough, add a little more lime juice. So let's fill our second glass with ice. And we're going to, once we do this and pour our mixture, we're going to add a club soda topper. Okay, so this one is stirred, not shaken.
Judy says this must be good for you because it's a fruit salad.
A fruit salad indeed. Okay, my throat's getting a little dry. I have to pause for a sip of rum. Yes, friends. Okay, now we're going to pour our Anything Goes. It's ready to go. And we're ready to serve it as well. And Ann and Keith were playing Jimmy Buffett just for you. Okay, here's our Anything Goes. And before we take a sip of it, let's remember the happy hour motto. I love to drink martinis. 2 at the very most. 3 and I'm under the table. 4 and I'm under the host. Congaloosh.
Sean Maurer wants to know where one would acquire that neck attire.
I'll message you. Okay. We mentioned the Drinkology and the cruise and Leo. Another funny story.
You didn't.
Oh, I didn't. Aaron says I did. Okay. Oh, this is a funny story I forgot to mention. Okay. On this particular cruise, which sailed out of New York to the Southern Caribbean, it was an 11-night cruise. So we had several days at sea, stopping at 5 different islands, I think, along the way. And sailing out of New York, there were a large number of New York Russians on this voyage. And one of them in particular, Leo, attended the mixology classes each day. He was a very funny guy. We loved him, and he brought a lot of laughs to the group. One day before the class started, we were seated at the bar, which was limited seating. It was sort of a U-shaped bar with bar stools, and Leo had situated himself, but he wanted to go to the restroom before we got started. So in order to prevent anyone from taking his seat while he was up, he unscrewed the bar stool and took the seat with him to the restroom. So that cracked us up. And another quick story. This had nothing to do with the mixology class, but it was on the same ship. One day, Aaron and I think we were going to breakfast, and we stepped onto the elevator, one of the elevators, to get to whichever deck we needed to go to on the ship. And there was an older gentleman on the elevator, tall man, wearing a New York Yankees baseball cap. And this was in the springtime, and the day before had been the Major League Baseball opening games. It was a season opener. And so we stepped on the elevator, and just out of courtesy, we said, just said hi, how are you, to the man. And his reply was, "The Yankees won last night, forget about it." And so that's another memory that stayed with me. So you take away, you learn something from everyone you meet, and some of them you cherish, and it's fun to do that. Okay.
Fred, we have a question.
A question.
Jerry McDonald would like to know, what is the difference between shaken and stirred? Does it taste different?
It does not taste that different, but you do get a little of the ice melting in each one. When you have it on the rocks, you know some of the ice melts and adds a little water to your cocktail before you finish it. When you shake it, the drink is very, very cold if you shake it enough, and you quickly pour it before too much of the ice melts. So it's a stronger, probably a little stronger version when you have it straight up shaken and not stirred. I hope that helps. Okay, for the big reveal, all of you I know are anxious to know, am I wearing pants? Well, not really. Again, I'm not a ballet dancer. I'm not very good at this, but we'll give it another try. See how this goes. Okay. Pajama bottoms and house slippers. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think that's enough fun for one evening. Again, thank you for joining us. And until next time, come to Lush.